Hello, hi Srijan. Hello, Rahul Pandey sir. This is for operations and supply chain management final project that we are due to submit on 13th Feb. This is Group A4. My name is Sameera, and my team members Shruti, Mishra, Ananya, Lamba, Chandani, Matoli, and Vaishnavi, Shrivastava, and Krishi, Solanki are here with me. We are interviewing Mr. Gaurav Tiwari. He owns a business which is in Delhi NCR, and the name of the business is PayTunes. I'll request him to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about what the business does. So,
Sure. So hi, I'm Gaurav Tiwari. I'm co-founder, CEO of Paytunes. Paytunes is a brand of Real-Time Networks Private Limited. We are a startup which was founded in 2015, 16, and we've been through three pivots, and the final pivot that we are now operating in is basically digital audio advertising. So any ad that you hear on any of the music or audio platforms in India, whether it is Spotify, Ghana, Wing, or any of the podcasts that you hear in India, if you're listening to an ad on anything where the screen can be off and you can still consume content, all those ads are being played through by the technology that has been developed by our team. It's called a demand side platform that we have developed, and we basically connect advertisers with these publishers through the technology that we have built. We are a 50 people company, and our primary area of operation is India. We have offices in around 10 cities in India, and yeah, we're planning to expand to other countries pretty soon.
great, sir. Thank you. So my first question to you could you tell us a little bit about the business growth in your firm and in the online ad business in the last year, 2022 and 21? Overall, how the business has performed, how everything has been, the lead generation, all the ads that you sell.
You're talking about business growth, right?
Yeah. Business growth, yeah.
Okay. So basically, see, digital audio advertising is pretty new in the whole world, actually. So whenever you talk about digital marketing or digital advertising, it has primarily been video, display, search, social media, influencer now. But this area is very niche area, and not many companies in the world focus on this area. Although there's a huge uh, customer base or consumer base which consumes digital audio content. So if I talk in terms of revenue numbers only, we have been growing close to 200% every year for the last 4 years. Uh, like I said, we are a 50 people company. We are a bootstrap startup, and we are managing through our own revenues. So it's a big industry. The biggest bump any company which has to cross while entering this industry is the know-how of selling digital audio. Not many companies know how to do that because it's not very performance-related industry. So if you talk about display or video, you actually can click on the ads and actually see the performance directly in terms of click-through rates. Whereas here, uh, 90% of this time the screen is off, so there's no direct correlation with the clicks here. So you have to actually uh, devise methods of showing performance in actual market rather than on clicks. But this
Right.
is a very highly growing industry across the world and in India also.
Right. Thank you, sir. So second question is about, can you tell us a little bit about, the competitors in this field for you and how is the competition going for you and maybe something about your target audience and your market segmentation, just a brief about these things.
Okay. So basically, see, first of all, we are a B2B startup. So it's not that much of, so our customers are actually
Other companies.
companies who want to advertise, other companies who want to advertise. So our segmentation is primarily basis how the entire industry is segmented, whether it is auto, finance, within BFSI, it's banking, finance, and other other segments of it. Then FMCG, then you have quick service restaurants like Taco Bell and Domino's of the world. So basically, anything how the entire industry is divided, that's how we also segment it. Uh, in terms of our competitors, I would say, so see, if you talk about it, our like I said, it's a very niche category, very difficult category to get into. First, because of the basic know-how of selling audio that doesn't exist, digital audio that doesn't exist in India, and secondly, because of this demand side platform that we have created, it's a very complicated piece of technology. Like I was telling you earlier, that we have to, make decisions on which ad to show to which individual. Like we get around 6 to 7,000 requests every second, and on each of those requests, within 200 milliseconds, we have to decide which ads goes to whom. So it's a very difficult piece of technology. Not many companies in the world actually own that. So that way is also it's not a very difficult, very huge competitive space. But what I would still say is that digital audio is a very niche segment. So the pie for digital audio is pretty small. It's around 200 CR worth of business in India right now, digital audio. Whereas if you look at digital marketing, just Facebook and Google did 50,000 crores last year in India. So our competition as such is not from the other audio players, but from display and video players out there, uh, because the key asset that this this medium of advertising has is that it has a very high listen through rate. That's why it's so beautiful that, like I probably said earlier, that when the content of audio is being consumed, your screen is off 90-95% of the time. That means whatever content and related advertisement that goes on to you never skip it. You don't engage with the screen when the ad is being played. That's why it has huge listen through rates. As in, listen through rate is how much of the ad do people listen to completely. So if you compare it to display or video, it's like 10 times of what video has or 20 times of what video has. So our competition is primarily with display and audio, keeping it short. And that is the space we are trying to get into, trying to convince advertisers who are primarily dependent on display and video to start moving on to audio, where digital audio, where listen through rates are through the roof.
Right. I understand because I just want to point this out. So I'm a very heavy user of Spotify, and I've noticed the ads that you're talking about, the audio ads, because when you're going through a playlist or you're clicking on next, I recall that there are only audio ads that come on Spotify. So I understand what you're saying. So my next question is, could you tell us any difficulty you faced in your organization at a strategic level or at an operations level that we as students can work on? Maybe you face that difficulty and you've had a solution, but you don't need to give us the solution, but something that you think we can work on in terms of a strategic level or operations level, that you've encountered.
So see, basically, yeah. So there are multiple challenges that we face. Like I said, the biggest challenge as of now is adoption of digital audio, that we have to when we take it to advertisers. So since there is no direct click through rates, CTRs, it's very difficult to convince advertisers that they should not necessarily digital advertising has been measured. Rather, they should focus on listen through rates and how much of that ad is being completely heard. That is one challenge. The other challenge, if I talk about at a strategic level, the company is facing is that the extension to tier 2 and tier 3 markets. So if you look at the entire radio industry in India, radio industry is a 2,000 crore industry in India, and a huge part of it, around 30-40% comes from tier 2 cities, tier 3 towns in India right now, right? Where the biggest, I'm sorry, where the biggest where the biggest advertisers are your local players. So how can we move on to increasing our business to to tier 2 and tier 3 towns, so that, see, with tier 1 cities, the biggest problem is that the budget, we have to fight for the budget with Googles and Facebooks of the world, because people are aware that with digital advertising, they can always reach out to Google search, or Facebook, or Instagrams, or social media of the world, YouTubes of the world. Whereas in tier 2 and tier 3 towns, this thing has not penetrated yet. So digital advertising in tier 2 towns is primarily Google search or a little bit of Facebook. So
Okay.
what could we do as a company to make a presence felt
In tier 2 and
tier
tier
2
3
and tier
cities.
3 towns? That could be another
Yeah.
cities. That is another thing that we can, look at finding a solution for. So yeah, these are a couple of things. There are a lot of
Yeah.
other things. So we are a growing startup, so huge
Sure.
challenges
Sure.
that we
So,
face.
sir, we are going to stay in touch with you, and I want to thank you for your time that you agreed to, do this video call with us. And I know you're also traveling today, so thanks so much for taking out the time. I really appreciate your inputs. We will be working on these, and we'll also be submitting this video call to our professor. And we will also do a field visit whenever you are comfortable and ready. So, thank you so much. And I'm just going to pause the recording now.